Whereas the first point is to just accept what it is. Accept you're in what it is. Okay, I'm here. This is what's happening. So once you have that acceptance, the first thing happens is everything just begins to power down in that moment. Okay, everything, your emotions, your feelings will give you a doorway into something else. The first thing is the acceptance. I want you to invite you into an acceptance of it. The next thing that I invite you into is understanding, okay, if I had the choice now, how would I want to react? How would I want to show up for myself? If this was going to be, my last moment here on earth, if this day was going to be, how would I want to show up for myself? How would I want to be, what makes me feel good in this moment? What makes me feel more hopeful, more positive, more free, more relaxed? Because it's all a choice. We often feel it isn't because we're like, I'm feeling this thing, I can't stop feeling it. But there's always in that moment a choice of something else. I'm going to show you in another episode about how you can physically release emotions or physically shift in that moment. But what I want to talk about right now is how you can mentally release and mentally change. Because there's some situations you can't actually physically move, physically change. You might be in a situation in a meeting, in a car when you're traveling, in a place where you can't actually move your body. So I want to invite you into the awareness of, okay, acceptance first of all. I'm here, surrendering into that moment. And then in that moment, first of all, send yourself some kindness, right? Some love. We talk about this a lot. In that moment, giving yourself like some forgiveness. Okay, I'm going to forgive myself for this reaction, whatever it is. And even in that moment, it sounds like a strange thing to be doing, but just try this. Try saying to her, I forgive you, and then you say your name. I forgive you, Leslie, for that reaction. I forgive you for that. I'm going to press the reset button on myself, and we've all got a reset button. I've pressed it thousands of times on myself. We can literally press a reset button on ourselves in that moment. And as we do that, it's like, okay, I'm going to start again from this moment onwards. What intention do I want to set for this next moment? What do I want to set for the next stage in my life, the next half an hour, the next 10 minutes of my life? What do I want to bring? And actually start, instead of thinking of what you don't want, which is often happening in this situation, start to think of what you do want to bring into that moment. Because as I said at the beginning, it's 10% of what's happening and 90% of how we deal with it. So in that moment, you give yourself an option. You give yourself a moment of choice. And at that moment when you say, okay, how do I want to deal with this? How do I want to show up? What's my intention? Set that intention and then move forward from that place and just witness what happens when you let go of the resistance. Like, why is this happening to me? Why me? What is this about?